Welcome to today's leadership tip. I'm Susan Stamm, the author of 42 Rules of Employee Engagement, and today I'd like to talk about rule number 4. Listen, listen, listen. The students had been anticipating the business professor's visit to their communication class. He was coming to share information about classes in the business department. Before he had arrived, the class had been prepared to participate in a listening experiment that the professor knew nothing about. As he began his overview, they were to listen attentively and actively, but within a few minutes, they were to launch into some awful listening behavior, yawning, looking at their watches, checking text messages and emails, and dropping their heads to their desks. The professor, who had given thousands of lectures, was a very comfortable presenter. He arrived on schedule and began to share the information, and within a few minutes, the students launched into their terrible listening roles. After a few minutes of trying to carry on after the students moved into these roles, the professor started to stumble over his words a bit. He said, what are you doing to me? Poor listening has a greater impact on others than most of us realize. When we interrupt or talk over another speaker, we produce the same effect as if we were physically punching them. Our listening skills and habits also identify our character in areas such as courtesy and humility, and it speaks to our professionalism. It can also suggest our willingness or unwillingness to be a team player, and it's easy for some of us, especially those of us who are leaders, to forget that we too are part of the team. The cost of poor communication in your organization is probably something that has never been directly assessed, and your organization might be surprised at the full financial impact of poor listening. Yet in our 25 years as a business, the team approach has had fewer requests for listening skills assessments and training than anything else in our portfolio. Most organizations, however, have been the victims of errors and breakdowns caused by poor listening skills, not to mention the personal damage to relationships it causes and the financial impact associated with this. Here's my call to action for today's rule. Set a team goal to be better listeners and work on these skills together. Create a simple job aid card that says listen and carry this card to meetings and keep one on your desk. Test each other by asking the listener to paraphrase what you think you've communicated. This is a great technique, and it allows for you to clear up miscommunications right away before they come back to haunt you later. If you catch someone not listening, agree on a small listening fine. All team members will pay, and you can donate this to a charity, a favorite charity of your team. Decide together what the finable behavior will look like for your team. Agree to make this fun and a team support activity to help each other get better in a very difficult skill. Make sure it's approached in that spirit. We can all improve in this area, and that should be recognized up front. Today's leadership tip has been brought to you by the Team Approach. Check out the 42 Rules button on our website at teamapproach.com for a template to help you discuss and act on rule number 4, and for other resources to create engagement on your team.